What is up, guys? Welcome back to another Holbert Sports video. Today I'm going to be doing my power rankings going into week two. Um, I think there were some big changes uh, from seeing the games and seeing injuries and stuff like that that have happened in the first week. So we just hop right into it. Still at 32, I have the Arizona Cardinals. I don't think it's a big surprise. I just don't think they're going to do well this season. They looked somewhat decent against the Commanders, but I just don't think they're gonna win many games at all. Um, that one was pretty self-explanatory. They don't have their starting quarterback. They don't have a lot of weapons. I would move on to 31. I put the Texans there just because they scored 9 points against the Ravens defense, obviously, but I just don't think that they played very well. Offensively, they didn't look good at all. Defensively, they they held Lamar from doing a lot. I think it was like 25-9 or something like that. So the defense is a little bit promising, but the offense didn't look too well. Um, Stroud's gonna struggle in the beginning. It's fine. They got time. Once they get Damian Pierce going, I think they're gonna be somewhat decent, like 5 wins maybe. Um, so number 30, I put the Panthers there, just because they just didn't look too comfortable. I mean, Bryce Young did get his first touchdown pass of his NFL career, so that was really cool. I just don't think they looked ready to be playing. Like it looked like they were still like in preseason. That game with them and the Falcons was pretty slow to me. Got a little boring, but I think the Panthers can move up significantly if they start getting the offense rolling, which I think they can. Um, 29, I put the Bears. The only bright spot for the Bears was literally Justin Fields. I can't say anything else. Like, Chase Claypool looked like he didn't want to play at all. Justin Fields is the only reason this team had as many points as they had and didn't get sacked like 7 times. He broke much tackles. Um, at 28, I have the Colts. I think they played well, but they still have a lot of growing to do, and they still don't have Jonathan Taylor. So if they had Jonathan Taylor, they'd probably be like 23-20 range. Because Richardson actually looked pretty good in his first game. I mean, not great, obviously, but like he's a rookie. I mean, I think he had a passing touchdown and a rushing touchdown, so that's pretty good. Pretty good sign for the future. 27. I put the Titans there. I don't know. I just didn't. Nothing was going right for the Titans. Tannehill looked horrible, in my opinion. Uh, I think the Titans are going to be a team that's um looking for their starting quarterback for a long time. They're going to be looking to see who's going to start probably till I think week 10, and then they'll figure out who it's going to be. But yeah, Derrick Henry is the only really good thing. The defense got a couple sacks, not too bad or anything. 26. I put the Broncos. I think they just looked flat again. They came out flat again. They tried the onside kick at the beginning of the game. Um, that's really all that I saw that was good in that game for them. And they didn't even get the onside kick actually, so it wasn't even technically good. But they looked slow at the. They just didn't look like they were ready. Russell Wilson wasn't ready to win this game, but it is what it is. I don't really know what else to say about it. 25. I put the Buccaneers, but I could see if you want to put them higher. They beat the Vikings, who for some reason Kirk Cousins looked like primetime Kirk Cousins. I don't know how. I don't know why. Justin Jefferson had a bunch of receiving yards, but they still couldn't win the game. they're missing the big key component of that offense last year. Obviously, Dalvin Cook. So they need to figure out a running back situation. They need to trade or sign a running back that is explosive because Madison is not gonna cut it. But overall, like I think the Buccaneers played well that game. I think Baker came out like proving that he wants to stay on the team. He wants to stay the starter. He wants to be there for a couple years. So I'm proud of him. I'm proud of Baker actually. Um, Hopefully they start winning more games. I can put them up higher on my power rankings. Okay, the 24 on my power rankings is the Atlanta Falcons. I think they look decent, but of course they were playing the Panthers, young team. Don't really know what the Panthers have right now. So I think the win didn't give them that much of a boost, but it did look good for them. Ritter looked decent. They have the three-headed monster running the ball. Bijan is gonna be a beast. I think just quick and easy, they might be like middle of the pack team, like 16 to 20 by the end of the season in the power rankings. 23, I put the Giants. The Giants had a whole shit show. It was not good. They didn't look like they wanted to be there. Saquon was like barely doing anything. They lost 40-0. It just was horrible. They need to get it together, honestly. And the Cowboys are a very good team. I will say that. But 40-0 is crazy. On Monday night or on Sunday Night Football? No, that's not right. That's all I have to say about the Giants because I don't even want to get going on that. 22, I have the Commanders. The I think they played well against the Cardinals. Same thing with the Falcons and Panthers. I think that they didn't really prove anything by beating the Cardinals, but Sam Howell did uh, drive down the field and get the game-winning score. It looks good offensively for them with McLaurin and Jahan Dotson, and even what's the tight end's name? Logan Thomas, I think is his name. And I like Robinson a lot at running back. I like Gibson too out of the backfield. I think they're gonna be decent. They're not gonna be great, but they're gonna be decent. At 21, I put the Los Angeles Rams. I just think um, they played really well. Matthew Stafford really wanted to prove himself. And Tutu Atwell had a big breakout game. He had 3 rushing touchdowns from the running backs, Cam Akers, and I think it's like, oh my God, was it like Kylan Williams, I think? He's number 23. I forgot the name. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I just think they came out and they're ready to play. Aaron Donald played well also. I just think they came out ready to play against the Seahawks. They really showed that their veterans were really helpful. But honestly, they just looked like a better team there. We go to number 20. I put the Vikings. The Vikings, as I was saying earlier when I was talking about the Buccaneers, they just need to get it together. They need to find their running back. They need to figure out what they're gonna do with this offense with just Justin Jefferson. They need to include T.J. Hawkinson a lot more in the offense, I think. And I think this is gonna be Kirk's last year there, and they need to get a new quarterback after that. Number 19, I put the Raiders. I just mean like they just played well. They didn't play like great, but they played well. Like I think they're gonna be a fringe playoff team maybe for the AFC. They might be the last seed, like what is the 7th seed. Jimmy Garoppolo, if he could stay consistently average, then they'll be fine. Because they have Jacoby Myers, who did really well actually, and they have Devontae Adams, of course, and Josh Jacobs needs to get going, and they'll have a really solid offense. Number 18, I put the Seahawks. They just started slow and just couldn't get it together. Um, I think Gino needs to prove that he I guess can win games in multiple seasons because he needs to prove that last year was not a fluke. But as of right now, it doesn't look good. I think if they get Kenneth Walker going in the next game, I think they can win. I think they can win the next game if they get the running game going and they get the play action going with DK or Tyler Lockett going down the field. They just need to get it together. The defense is young, and I think they're good enough to win games. So I think it's good to put them there. Number 17, I put the Steelers. They did play the 49ers, but like they really couldn't get anything going. At one point, they had 1 yard of like total offense, and it was like the almost like the end of the first half. It did not look good for them, but I mean, like I said, it's against the 49ers, so you can't judge them too much. The 49ers always have a solid defense, but we'll figure out by the next game how the offense is going to run and if the defense can stop other offenses because the 49ers are probably the best all around team. So that's like a I don't really know where to put them type team. So but at 16 I put the New England Patriots. The Patriots really surprised me against the Eagles. They scared the Eagles, almost won the game, but the Eagles pulled it out at the end. Um I really like Hunter Henry. I think Mac Jones needs to, as I said in my last video, that they're gonna play as good as Mac Jones plays. So if Mac Jones has a good game, they're probably gonna win. Mac Jones has a good season, they're probably gonna have a winning season. It's just kind of how it goes. And the one thing that they do need to do is get Ramondre Stevenson going. They need to get the run game going so they can work off of everything else. At 15, I have the New Orleans Saints. I think they did. Derek Carr did look decent in his debut as a Saint. Um, I just think he's going to be solid with Chris Olave and Johnson. I think is the tight end. I might be wrong, but I just think they're gonna look really good. Um, they're gonna be probably a playoff team in my opinion, because there's not many teams in the NFC that I think will are good enough to make the playoffs. So they are one of the first ones on the list so far that I think will make the playoffs. Um, Number 14, I put the Green Bay Packers. Um, that might be me being a little bit biased, but I think they played really well against the Bears. Um, Jordan Love proved that he can win games and he could play well without his number one receiver Christian Watson. Um, got a lot of carries from Aaron Jones in the first half. Coming out of the halftime second, like the first drive, he gets like I think a 50-yard like reception or something like that. I think once we get Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon going on the season, our offense is gonna run real smooth, and Jordan Love's gonna just sit in that offense and do perfect, be exactly what we need. Our defense actually looked really really good. Um, we probably would have had a lot more sacks if we weren't going up against Justin Fields, who like is some kind of magician, Houdini, just getting out of everything. So yeah, I have a lot of things that I think are gonna go well for the Packers. So stay tuned. Number 13, I put the New York Jets. After the Aaron Rodgers injury, we don't know how well Zach Wilson's gonna play. um, they did get the win against the Bills, but it was on a punt return, so like Zach Wilson didn't have to go down and win the game for the team. I mean that's a good thing and a bad thing if your special team scores, but you also probably want to try to put Zach Wilson in that situation early in the season. So it's kind of a what if thing. It's like, oh, what if Zach Wilson plays really well? So I kind of put them here because like they still think they're a very good team. I just don't think Zach Wilson will make them any better. Number 12, I put the Bengals. The Bengals looked absolutely atrocious for some reason offensively. They couldn't. T. Higgins didn't catch a pass. Um, they scored like 3 points. I don't even know what to say. Um, I don't think they're gonna be like that all season, but I did put them at 12 here because I think um all the teams above them did better in their games. Speaking of the teams above them, number 11, the Browns. Deshaun Watson looked really, really good. He had a couple of like mishaps and like underthrown, overthrown balls, but I think Nick Chubb really helped him get settled in on the offense. You just run the ball and you'll be fine. Their defense actually looked really good against the Bengals. I don't know if that was like the Bengals not playing well or just the defense playing very well. We'll figure that out more as the season goes. I think the Browns are good here. They might go down. Maybe this was like a fluke game, but they did play very well. All right, number 10. We're into my top 10. I put the Los Angeles Chargers. I think they played very, very, very well. They had two good running backs that were getting a lot of carries. Um, it was Ryan Kelly and it was Austin Eckler. They looked really good. Um, Keenan Allen had a decent game. I just wish he had like a touchdown catcher or a long big play. Mike Williams did it, and he was all right. Gerald Everett didn't do too much. I think their defense it needs to be just a little bit better. They were not able to stop the Dolphins on like any drives, basically. That's a little exaggerated, but you know what I mean. Like it was a high scoring game. They just need to get their defense to shut down someone's offense and they'll take over games. The nine, I put the Jaguars. Um, they struggled a little bit with the really young Colts team, but they did come out with the win. I think it was like a 10-point win. Um, Big bright spot here, I think, is Travis Etienne, of course, and Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley is going to be the game changer for Trevor Lawrence. Um, I think this is a division winning team. I think they're like the 3 seed, 4 seed maybe. Um, eight, I still put the Ravens there, even though Lamar did not have that great of a game. I just think it was the first game, like let him get settled in. He didn't have his like number one guy, Mark Andrews, so like we're just gonna calm down a little bit. Zay Flowers looked really good. Odell needs to get into it a little bit more. Unlucky J.K. Dobbins, with the Achilles, unlucky injury, but they still do have some decent running backs. Number seven, I put the Bills. I don't know what happened to Josh Allen. Josh Allen threw three picks to the same dude. Um, he had the one like scramble like throw to Stephon Diggs that was like really good, and the one little like flick pass. I don't even know why he did it, but I think that they could play better. I think that they will play better, but as of what I'm looking at right now, I have them at seven. All right, six. I have the Detroit Lions. This is something that I never thought I would have so high. But I just thought they looked really good against the Chiefs. Um, of course, the Chiefs lost this game because of drop passes and stuff like that. But I think the Lions looked really good. I think they're going to be a contender in the NFC North. Um, I think it's going to be between Packers Lions. The way the first week went, as of right now, the way the first week went, those look like the teams that are going to be solid. But I like Jared Goff. I do think that the running back duo, once they give Jahmyr Gibbs more carries, is gonna be really, really, really dynamic. And I do like the receivers, Amon Ra, Josh Reynolds. Who else? I can't think of it. I know who I'm thinking of. Marvin Jones. I do like the receiving core. I like the veteran quarterback. I like the running backs. The defense is young, but they'll make mistakes. But I think their offense is good enough to keep them in games. Number five. Sadly, I have to put the Dallas Cowboys at number five. They just did everything right. Tony Pollard's gonna be a star running back this year. Dak just looked decent, good enough. He didn't have to do anything really. The special teams block field goal all the way back. Defense actually looks legit this year. Um, uh, Cowboys fans, this might be your year. That's all I'm saying. Number four, I put the Chiefs. Um, if Travis Kelce isn't back, then they stay around here. I don't know. I just don't think they have a good run game. But I think with Kelce and then a little bit of work on the jug machine for Kadarius Toney, and they'll be fine. They have Rashee Rice, who I really, really, really liked watching. Um, they need to keep him on the field a little bit more, throw some more passes to him. Valdez Scantling is also a really good deep threat. I think this was an unlucky game for them. They're gonna come back stronger because they don't want to be losing a bunch of games, so they'll be fine. Number three, I still have the Eagles. I have the Eagles still in the top five just because their defense is really, really, really good. I think Jalen Hurts had a rough game against the Patriots, but Patriots defense isn't horrible, so it's not like that could be the reason why. So we'll see what happens because I don't want to overreact with the Eagles. I just think they're gonna be solid. They have AJ Brown. They have Devonta Smith. Of course, they're gonna be good. They have Dallas Goedert at tight end. They just need to utilize him because they didn't throw a pass to, or they threw one pass to him and it wasn't complete. So they need to utilize him a little bit more. Number two, I have the Miami Dolphins. This might be a stretch for some of y'all, but I just think that their offense looked so good. And their defense, they had a lot of mistakes, but I think that playing against other teams, because the Chargers do have a nice, really good offense. So playing against other teams, I think the Dolphins defense is just going to be good enough to to get some stops, and that's all the Dolphins offense needs. They just need defense to get 3 or 4 stops in the second half probably, and then that's it. They probably win the game because Tyreek Hill and Raheem Mostert and Tua and Waddle and everyone else on that offense is really solid. And at number one, I have the San Francisco 49ers. You just can't have them at any other spot. They looked really good. Um, they're just good offensively, defensively. CMC, you got Debo, you got Brandon Ayuk looking crazy, and you got Brock Purdy. And then their defense is probably the best defense in the league. There's nothing really else I have to say about that. They're just the best team in the league. But yeah, if y'all have any changes that you would make, let me know. Let me know if you think your favorite team's in the wrong spot in the comments. If you like the video, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see me do or talk about. Also, if you want to check out my other channels, they'll be linked. And if you want to check out my TikTok, I do some of the daily sports trivia games, so you can check that out too. Yeah, that's it for me. I'll see you guys next time.